What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventure in 1994 here, and it is Saturday, May 14th, 2022. And so far, the rain has cleared up. It's just little spots of precipitation for right now, and I promise I'll try to be quick as possible with this video before it probably downfalls again. But right now, I just want to make this video to let you guys know that it is now the 6th anniversary of when I went to Disney in May of 2016, towards the end of 9th grade. And what's coincidental about this is that it was on Saturday the 14th in May in 2016. And this is Saturday the 14th of May of 2022. That's what's so coincidental about it, is that both of these dates are both on Saturday, May 14th. So, this all happened when I was at the end of 9th grade, and it was like my younger years on YouTube during the time. My channel was almost 1 year old, but I missed the anniversary of my channel when I was in Disney, because it was on May 16th. And I joined on May 16, 2015. So I had to miss that. And I also reached 200 subscribers while I was down there. And I was unable to make a video of that. But I wasn't too mad about it because I was in Disney. So my first day, it was Saturday, May 14th, 2016, and I took a whole week off school for this, and I was in 9th grade finishing up my year, and it was a month before I was done with the school year completely. So I took a whole week off school for this, and it was just 3 weeks after I went on spring break. I wasn't on spring break anymore. And I remember the night before I left Disney, I was doing some homework, and I actually was listening to a recording of a novel called Of Mice and Men, which I did a book report on back in 9th grade. In my English class in 9th grade, we were working on the novel called Of Mice and Men. And I remember the day before I left, my homework was to listen to a recording of the novel Of Mice and Men. Yeah, the title is actually called Of Mice and Men, but I just call it Mice and Men. And the next morning, it was Saturday, May 14th, and I left my house at like 3:30 in the morning and headed for JFK Airport. And my flight, my JetBlue flight, was at 7:15 in the morning, and I didn't arrive till 10 a.m. So yeah, it was a 2.5 hour flight. Yeah, my JetBlue flight took off at 7:15 in the morning, and I didn't land in Orlando till 10 a.m. And I remember I had gate 11 at Terminal 5 at JFK. And I got on the Disney Magical Express, and I stayed at the boardwalk this Disney trip for a whole week. I stayed from the 14th to the 21st. I remember that day that I actually went to the pool first thing I got there at the boardwalk. I stayed in the pool for a few hours, and then I left the pool because I was hungry. So my dad made me a sandwich back up in the room, and then we left for Epcot, and we went to the Garden Rocks concert, and we walked in and we saw the topiaries up. But we didn't really go on rides the first day, because we were with somebody else, like one of my mom's friends. Yeah, I have photos on my Facebook that I'll show you guys one of these days. And that night we saw Illumination Reflections of Earth, which is a light show Epcot retired back in September 2019, and they replaced it with Epcot Forever, and that went gone too. Yeah, I miss Illumination Reflections of Earth. I remember this like it was yesterday. It was already 6 years ago. I didn't really have that much hair then. Oh, and by the way, I left for Disney the day after Psycho Dad ripped apart Uncle Larry's trailer, or Larry's trailer because he's not my uncle. I remember that in the McJuggernuggets videos, that the day before I left, Psycho Dad ripped apart Larry's trailer because Jesse was camping on the Stahlburgers property without permission, and Melissa thought Jesse was causing trouble for having the RV on her property, that Melissa got so annoyed on Friday, May 13th, and decided to call Psycho Dad on him. I know the series is fake, but I'm pretending it's real for you guys. So Melissa called up Psycho Dad, and Psycho Dad arrived with his backhoe and clawed the RV. Like, took it down that it was no longer meant for living and anymore. Jesse was down to his knees when he begged Melissa not to call him, and tried to get her and his mom talk to each other, like reconnect, but that didn't work out. The last thing his mom told Melissa was that she wished her well, and Melissa thought it was hello goodbye for stinking ever. Yeah, Jesse like also broke Melissa's phone before she called up her dad, but apparently she had a backup phone called Psycho Dad. Yeah, it was a crazy turn of events, and Jesse went to Larry's at the end of the day and told Larry about what happened to the trailer, that Uncle Larry like went outside and like threw a beer bottle at his clock at his lounge, and he started breaking everything, leaving a mess on his lounge. And Larry like snapped at Jesse, saying that he didn't want that trailer there. So he just snapped and wrecked his lounge, like wrecked parts of his lounge. And he didn't show up for the rest of the night. He just left for the rest of the night and then didn't come back till next morning. While Jesse crashed at Larry's place, and the next morning Larry was really upset and got into an argument with Jesse's dad, that he was put up against the wall after an argument, and Jesse was forced back into his dad's house. I know this is not my story, but I like sharing what happened to McJuggernuggets during that time. Because it was an interesting story. I know this is not my story, but I like sharing one of McJuggernuggets' stories of what happened that time. Because it has a lot to do with it being the same time I left for Disney. Oh, and this was also the start of the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. The night before, Ben Bishop got rushed to the hospital because he got hurt. And he was on Tampa Bay at the time. So the Eastern Conference Finals matchup was between Tampa Bay Lightning and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And one of the Penguins injured the Tampa goalie, Ben Bishop, who was not on the team anymore. And he got rushed to the hospital. And you know what was insane about that? It happened on Friday the 13th. So Ben Bishop got bad luck in Pittsburgh on Friday the 13th. I mean, how odd is that? Like, you get rushed to a hospital you get rushed to the hospital in a city that has a destructive NHL team. So, yeah. It was a crazy turn of events during that time when I left for Disney. When I flew down there in May. So, I gotta say, this whole trip was crazy. Outside my trip, it was crazy. So, all the parks I went to day by day was the 14th I went to Epcot, the 15th I went to Epcot, Day 3, May 16th, I went to Magic Kingdom, Tuesday the 17th, I went to Hollywood Studios, Wednesday the 18th, I went to Animal Kingdom in the daytime, and then Disney Springs at night. And they changed the name to Disney Springs. And it was their first year being called Disney Springs. And then Thursday the 19th, I went back to Epcot. And then Friday the 20th, I went back to Magic Kingdom. And then on the last day, since my flight was until 10 o'clock at night back to New York, I actually went to Hollywood Studios first and then Epcot. I had a lot of time for both. So, and I was home like at nearly 2 in the morning on the 22nd. So, I gotta say, it was a crazy turn of events outside the trip. But I did have a good time getting out of school for a week in the spring in Disney. And I went back to school on May 23rd. So yeah, a lot was going on with the NHL playoffs and McJuggernuggets, and I was in Disney in May of 2016. There was also the Western Conference Finals between the Blues and the Sharks. But San Jose's been doing really bad now. So, a lot happened in May 2016 I want to share with you guys. So, I guess that's it. Bye.